All right, all right, all right. Welcome to episode 17 of Unless You Live Hardcore, everybody. I am Kyle Forsyth, the
What up? I'm
co-host
Jake
here.
Ford, the other host. I like that you hit the Matthew McConaughey at the beginning with that. All right, all right, all right. That was nice, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, it sounds like your microphone's really far away from your mouth.
I didn't have it up to my mouth. I forgot we
Yeah,
use microphones on this professional podcast. Fuck. Is that better quality
yeah,
now,
dude.
dude?
We do.
Okay.
Yep,
Good, good,
much
good.
better quality.
Awesome, dude. What's going on, Kyle?
Yeah, man.
How you doing, dog?
Good, dude. Just prepping for fucking Inkarceration Festival. It's next weekend. I leave on Thursday to go do a comedy show the night before the festival. I just ordered a bunch of my camping
Oh,
supplies and shit
nice.
today. Um, Amazon, dude. Amazon's
Yeah, I
amazing.
mean, yeah,
Uh,
dude.
you can just buy everything you need all in one fell swoop. I just bought all the fucking camping shit I needed because I don't
You
ever
can
go
buy
camping. And
everything
here's
you
what I'm
need
gonna do.
in all one fell swoop at the expense of your fellow Americans' mental and possibly physical well-being. It's great. I love
I'll
it, dude.
I'll
Yeah,
risk
hey,
it. You know. Yeah,
I'm
I
being
love it too,
exploited
dude.
in ways that I don't know.
I love
That
Daddy Bezos. Daddy
he doesn't even
Bezos is
run the
great.
company
All
anymore,
right.
dog. He's off being sick, dude. He's off
Well,
thinking about outer
man. I mean,
space
he
all the
started
time,
it.
dude. That's his thing now. He's like, it's like
Yeah,
I
man.
need to
Well,
get off the planet. Everybody who doesn't make at least 80 grand a year wants me fucking dead. So I better go to Mars.
yeah. Everybody, him and Elon Musk, dude. Everybody's just fucking hopping off Twitter right now, getting on
Yeah,
threading or whatever. Threaded?
yeah. I
I don't
saw
know.
everybody's trying to get on.
Whatever, man.
I don't think that's gonna catch on, dude. I don't think
I think
Threaded
it
is gonna
might.
catch on the way fucking Zuckerberg thinks it is. I think it's gonna be another like it's gonna be like another like Reels type situation where they think it's gonna like take over, and then it just really doesn't really have much of an impact.
I think it's a lot of people are transferring over there. A lot of people have been looking for an out from Twitter for a minute now, you know. And I think the reality is a lot of us thought that TikTok wasn't gonna pan out either, but look at it now. There's people making careers
Yeah, I
off
guess
of
that's
it.
true.
So whether it pans out in the long haul and TikTok dies or not, right now there's people
Honestly,
with
dude, I was
careers
never
from it.
super like consistent with posting on Twitter, so maybe I can get fucking Threads famous, dude. Maybe that'll really help jumpstart our
Who knows,
careers in
dude?
podcasts.
That isn't something to think about. I haven't thought
It is.
about
It's a
that quite
new
yet. Is there's
platform. I want to
probably
get
gonna
on it and
be
see. Maybe things will go well on there.
we Yeah, and I think we are going to see some early threaded
Yeah,
stars,
like
weirdly. Like
us,
that
dude.
happens with every
Like
social
us.
media platform. I
Probably not,
don't
but
know,
hey.
dude. I was never good at Twitter.
I just wasn't
I
consistent,
literally
dude.
just
It's
like a
it's
few
so
weeks
time
ago.
consuming to tweet like 30 times a day. It's literally takes so much time.
Yeah, I also don't think in short form really. Like like joke wise, I think I don't really write short form. So like I think the people who thrive on Twitter or have thrived on Twitter are people who can write jokes in
Yeah, dude,
short
writing a
form usually.
one-liner is fucking hard. It's
It's not the
hard,
way I
dude.
work,
Yeah, yeah.
man. Yeah. I'm not real like pen and paper guy. I work stuff out on stage and my stuff's always pretty long form. I mean, so it's but there's going to be people who do hit the ground running on threaded,
Yeah, I'm gonna
but
check it out.
yeah,
Fuck it, man. I'm
regardless,
not gonna
I
be
don't
a
know, man.
hater. I really want to see this cage
Yeah.
match, though.
I don't think it's
I
going
don't
to
think so
happen.
either, but I think it would be bad for America, so I'd be really just down to let that happen. I'd be down for us to just let's finally hit rock bottom as a society, at least socially. That way we can kind of just start to climb the ladder again until we inevitably plunge off the cliff again in 30 years.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy cuz I think a lot of us thought that we hit rock bottom during like the Trump
Yeah.
presidency, you know?
Yeah,
Um
it's really
Jokes on
really
us, we
funny that
didn't.
everybody was like, "Dude, Biden's about to fucking fix everything, dude." And look where we're at now, dog. It's not good.
Yeah.
Bro, he is
Yeah.
falling down
I
at
mean,
an alarming rate. He won't stop falling down, dude. There's like 40 clips of him now. There are more clips of Joe Biden falling down than we have cut in preparation to fucking promote this podcast. We're at 27. There's like 43 Biden clips of him being like, oh, and just eating it.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Dude, I think the compilation on YouTube's like 8 minutes. It's like a fucking NBA highlight reel. It's crazy, dog.
Hey, man, the dude's old. All right, what do you want?
I want age limits on fucking...
He's an old man.
I want age limits on this shit, dude. If there's a minimum age requirement, there should be a maximum age fucking thing, dude. But that's apparently that's discriminatory.
But it's not to have an age minimum.
Apparently not. It's really hilarious how dumb we are as a society.
Ageism works one way, but not in the reverse.
Your incarceration schedule. What bands are you gonna go see, man?
So, man. All right, let's go through. Friday, I'm gonna start the day with Stepdad.
That's a good way to kick off the fest for sure.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be 11:55, and then there's another band before them that I might see called 1000 Below that starts at 11:20. I don't really care to see them. I'm not like a fan necessarily, but their music sounds okay.
Maybe Vended will play their new song Silver Platter.
Yeah, that's not actually a real song for anybody listening.
They're just rich kids. Yeah.
So the bands that I for sure have to see, I color coded it all. The green ones are the ones I have to see. So Vended, Kublai Khan, Chelsea Grin, Coal Chamber, Suicide Silence, POD, and Limp Bizkit. Those are the ones I have to see on
POD?
Friday.
Dog.
POD,
no way.
dog. Welcome to Southtown.
POD would be fun. I feel so alive.
Yeah. So alive for the very first time.
Think I can fly.
I think I can fly.
I used to really be into POD as like a really sad 13-year-old boy. I was like, dog. Christian rock is where it's at, dude.
I think I was into them probably at 10,
it was probably even earlier
9
than
or
13,
10,
dude.
maybe.
It was probably like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I was like, I had to be pretty young.
I remember being into them at a young age, and I also I really fucked with Trapped when I was an angsty 11-year-old dude.
Yeah, dude. You know what I remember definitively, and what changed my view of POD, and this is probably fucked up, and I think for a lot of people, but specifically, I remember the moment is I grew up in my stepmom was somewhat Christian, and my father they say they are, it's where they're Christian, and you're okay, when they want to be. But my stepmom would go to family Christian bookstore or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? Family Bible Christian bookstore. Are you familiar with this?
I wasn't brought up with religion really, so I've never seen one of those.
It was there's it was a chain, or Family Bible store maybe. I don't know. I think it was Family Christian Bookstore. And it was a chain of them. And I remember they had a whole music section. They had books. They had all different types of shit there. All Christian shit. And I would always be in the music section just because it's the only thing I gave a fuck about in any remote way. And so I remember seeing POD CD there though, and I was already a fan of POD before having any idea that they were a Christian band. And I was like, these dudes are Christian? What? I was like, why is POD
You can
here?
be a Christian and have dreadlocks? What?
Yeah. I remember seeing it and being like, why do they sell POD CDs here, dude? That doesn't even make sense. They're a rock band.
Clearly, they're into the devil.
So confused.
They love the devil.
Yeah, I was.
You still just going off of 80s stereotypes about rock music?
Yeah, well, I think honestly, their name stands for Pot of Death, or something like that.
Oh,
Pot of Death, POD.
They're talking about marijuana.
I think so,
the devil's
if
lettuce,
I'm right. I think it's Pot of Death. Payable on death. I'm sorry.
Death. What does that mean?
And I remember hearing that at a young age. It's something from the Bible. It's a phrase from the Bible.
I'm going to start a band called Burning Bush.
And I remember...
Wouldn't that be a sick band name?
Just
No.
no.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But this bit, I remember Payable on Death, and like I saw their album at Family Christian Bookstore, and I was like, this band is a metal band that has death in their name. The fuck are they doing here, dude? Like I was like, this doesn't belong here. I don't know why this stupid Christian bookstore would sell this metal music. That doesn't make any sense. Cause like it was played on the same radio station as like Marilyn Manson at the time, and like Limp Bizkit and stuff, you know?
No, not many people
So in
know
theory,
this,
in
but
my
Marilyn
head,
Manson was actually a devout Catholic. He loves God.
yeah.
Yeah.
That and Satan.
He also loves sexual assault, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently
and
that's
hitting
his
women.
jam, dude.
Yeah. Which also is like the least surprising news ever. Like,
yo, you mean to
people
tell
were
me
like, Marilyn Manson's a bad guy. He abused
was right
women.
about Marilyn Manson? You mean to tell me that everyone was fucking? They called it. Wow, it's almost like they're fucking. They can see through people's bullshit.
That's why when like it all came out that he did these things and like that he was a bad guy, and then people were like defending him, I was like, for real?
Yeah.
Like you're defending
buying
him?
His
like,
story,
come
dude?
on. If anybody is guilty, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's nobody that I've ever been more sure. If you guys are accepting that Bill Cosby is guilty, he was America's dad. This guy is America's Satan.
That is
like,
a lot of people like in the 90s legitimately thought Marilyn Manson was the Antichrist.
He was. He literally released an album called Antichrist
I know, but
Superstar.
I mean, like Christians legit thought that. They truly believed he was.
And he leaned
and that he
into
was
it.
Devour the
and he
earth.
leaned into it. Yeah, and he was like, "Yup, you got me. That's what I am. I'm gonna name my album that too. Fuck you guys." It's like literally. Yeah, but it's like, I mean, it's so funny. Like, it's just wild to me when people like try and defend that guy and be like, I don't think he's guilty. And I'm like, if anybody's guilty, it's that guy.
They're always like,
if there's ever been somebody who's guilty,
I was thinking sick jams, sick goth rock jams.
Dude, it's like anybody who knows anything about Marilyn Manson knows he loves cocaine.
Yeah.
And like he loves absinthe. It's like he's got
liking cocaine. Okay, that's like the least bad thing about him. Okay. Oh, he enjoys a drug that's people insanely fun.
But it's also a drug that like gives people violent tendencies if like taken a lot.
Cool,
like but it's like
you can just chill out.
Also like it's also like I know a woman. I worked with a woman at Hockeytown Cafe. She helped work at Hockeytown Cafe, where Detroit House of Comedy is. And she's moved on over to Little Caesars Arena now, working over there. I'm not gonna name her name or anything; it doesn't matter. But she worked for Pine Knob for years at Pine Knob and then like when it also transferred over to DTE, and she worked there in artist relations, where she set up the green rooms, got everything ready for everybody. Like she was in charge of green rooms and taking care of the artists at like Pine Knob for years, and I asked her at one point, I was like, who's like the worst artist you've ever dealt with? Like, do you have any like nightmare stories about like musicians or something? And then she's like, the worst one? Marilyn Manson.
Yeah,
why? And, like, this is like, and she goes, Marilyn Manson. She's like, it sucked. She's like, it is Ryder. You have to black out the whole entire green room. So we had to get like poles set up, and he wanted the whole green room like painted black or something. We couldn't paint the green room black, so we had to hang up black sheets all over the walls. So we had to like get like black curtain rods and everything and cover the whole room in like black curtains and black sheets. And like we spent hours setting it up and everything, just blacking it all out, because that was his requirement, is he didn't want to see anything but black. No lights. Cover the ceiling and everything. She's like, that he got there, and apparently that night him and Rob Zombie got into some type of disagreement or something about something. I don't fucking know.
Okay, nice, dude. I like how I just said Rob, like he's my buddy.
And he was with Rob Zombie, and then they got into some type of disagreement that night, and Marilyn Manson started freaking out and just yelling at everybody, throwing things everywhere, ripped apart the green room, tore down all of like the wall shit they set up, like all the curtain rods and everything, just whipped it around, broke mirrors and shit, threw food at the walls and everything, like just destroyed the fucking place and treated everybody like shit the whole night, yelled at people, was just screaming. She's like, you could just hear screaming through the hallways, essentially. Like, he was in his green room and you could just hear him just yelling at people and berating them. She's like, he was just an asshole. She's like, just because him and Rob Zombie got into like some little disagreement about something.
That's why you just do a little bit of cocaine, Kyle. You don't go full fucking tilt with it, dog. That's why you just
I don't do
put
any.
a little bit on your key, do a little tutor, and then you get on with your fucking day like an adult.
I don't think that's how Marilyn Manson does it, dude.
Immature people tend to do it. That's the problem, dude. Yeah, cocaine is for high
but
class,
imagine living a lifestyle.
Mature people who are trying to accomplish all of their life's goals. No, I'm kidding, dude.
Okay,
I'm just endorsing cocaine over here. Dude. Don't do cocaine, guys. It's actually bad for you, dude.
I just think about it though, like, what kind of person, like, I mean, obviously Marilyn Manson, but like, outside of that, what kind of person, exclusively the drug they use is cocaine, and exclusively the alcohol they drink is absinthe.
He only drinks absinthe?
He has his own brand of absinthe, and that's all he drinks.
All the time.
Yes, he only drinks absinthe. He brings his own bottle of absinthe wherever he goes. Comedians like Doug Stanhope's friends with him. I know that. Because he has his own brand of absinthe, and he just brings it everywhere he goes with him because it's all he'll drink, and then he does cocaine. Like, I've heard about him hanging out at the Comedy Store, bringing his own bottle of absinthe and a bunch of cocaine.
Just doing
and,
lines at the Comedy Store?
He's known for it.
Dude.
Yep.
And
drinking absinthe. Having everybody do shots of his absinthe.
God, man.
And he gives people shit if they won't drink it.
Of course he does, dude. What a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to take your fucking hallucinogenic shot. I'm sorry.
Right? That dude's taking hallucinogenic shots and then following that up with coke. Like, with a cocaine chaser.
He thinks he's like a mix of like Edgar Allan Poe and Hunter S. Thompson or some bullshit, dude.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, that was a Marilyn Manson tangent.
I mean, we could do a whole episode.
We went from POD to Marilyn Manson.
On the
guy's
dude,
crazy.
Those really are two completely different ends of the spectrum, dude. Fucking Marilyn Manson and POD. All right, what other bands are you going to see, Kyle?
Yeah. Well, the yellow ones, the ones that I would like to see, or that I maybe will see on Friday, is A Killer's Confession, which is the old lead singer of Mushroom Head. It's his current band.
We talked about. I think we played them.
Yeah. Yeah, We Came as Romans, Hatebreed, Fit for a King, which Fit for a King is pretty sick. I'm probably going to check them out. And then Fox Lake, which is that rap metal band you didn't like.
I remember,
you weren't a fan of them. Yeah. And then Saturday, I got Woe Is Me, like Moths to Flames, Varials, Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, fucking Matt
nice.
Sod, dude. I'm so stoked to see them. I haven't seen them since I got this hat back in like 2009, I think, on the band Thursday's farewell tour, even though they have gone on tour many times
every
since
band
then.
has done it. You love it, dude.
Yeah, but Maylene and the Sons of Disaster were the openers for them. And yeah, so Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, they're back together, but they took years off because their lead singer got in like an ATV accident and fucking rolled and like lost sight, and like he lost one of his eyes, had like some brain damage and stuff. He broke like a fuck ton of bones in his body, and was like literally like paralyzed for a little bit. Yeah, dude. He like broke his legs and his arms. He got brain damage. He lost an eye. Like, he got in a major fucking ATV accident, and like he thought career was done, and he was like, and they're back now, and I'm stoked for it.
That's what's up. Dude, that's no joke. I flipped an ATV when I was like 14, and I think I'm legitimately lucky to be alive, and like I didn't even get injured, and the thing like landed on me, and I was just like, and then it just bounced off, dude. I hit this like snake at the bottom of a hill and just went fucking flying, dude. It was like
a literal snake?
Like, it was
Okay, like a
Yeah, yeah,
snake
yeah. It was like,
trail.
and then there was like a
Okay.
tree branch root like embedded.
I thought you meant like I ran
No,
over a
no, no. There
gardener
was like a
snake and the thing
tree
just fucking
branch root
flipped.
also like embedded into that curve where I turned. So I just hit this going like fast as fuck, dude. And I just remember like it's hilarious because when you flip an ATV, like everything slows down. So I was just in midair flipping, going like, "Oh fuck, dude!" I remember this is so terrible, or not even terrible, but just kind of funny. I remember having this thought because it was my mom's boyfriend's ATV, and I'm just like out on this trail by myself. Or no, I had gotten lost. I got separated from like his son. So I was lost and panicking. That's right. And I remember thinking in midair, I was like, John's gonna be so mad at me. And then he turned out to be a real fucking dickhead. So I'm glad I cracked the engine block on his ATV, dude.
Yeah. I get it, man. I fucked up a stepdad's item
He
or
wasn't even
two.
my stepdad. They never got married. But he
Well,
was a
yeah, no,
cocksucker.
I
So
get it, but I'm just saying I've had a stepdad where I
yeah,
fucked
dude,
up some
I would
shit.
do it again. I would fucking break
Purposely.
my neck on that
Yeah.
ATV just to crack that engine block again, dude.
I definitely I I keyed the side of my stepdad's truck. He had like a new truck, but I keyed it with my skateboard.
That's funny as fuck, dude.
I used like the lip of my skateboard and just dragged the lip of my skateboard down the side of his
See,
whole
I never
entire
had-
vehicle. Like from back all the way to front, and I made it just wavy. I remember being like, what? Like doing like a wave with my skateboard all the way
That's
down
sick
it
as
on the
fuck.
side of it.
See, I never had the balls
Yeah.
to do that, but I did love all my friends in like the trailer park that we lived in. We lived in a trailer park.
Yeah, I had a trailer park in my neighborhood. I didn't live in the trailer park, but it was
Nice, dude.
attached to my
Flexing on the
neighborhood.
pores. I love it.
So yeah.
Flexing on those broke
Yeah,
ass
and
bitches.
then I
But
also
hang on, listen to this.
had like a fucking halfway house in my neighborhood. Sick, dude.
That's a good sign, dude. Good sign.
Yeah.
Sign of a healthy neighborhood.
Yeah, halfway house right next
Yeah,
to the
but that
trailer
didn't
park.
affect your guys'
Yeah.
property value. But
No, dude. My mom got the home for mad cheap.
yeah,
Can you
here's
believe
the
it?
thing. All of my buddies hated him, my mom's boyfriend, because he was a fucking dickhead, and his son was a fucking dickhead.
hmm
It's kind of funny. I kind of showed up and moved in there and like stole all of his friends. It's kind of fucked up. But so I remember one of my buddies like threw a rock at this guy's new Infinity. He made a lot of money for living in a trailer park. I think he was trying to like chip away to student loans. But anyways, somebody threw a fucking rock at his new Infinity, and it just like cracked the windshield to shit. Like it's not like you could even drive it. It's not like a small crack. This motherfucker had to call Safe Light the same day and be like, Safe Light repair, Safe Light replace, guys. And I just remember getting grilled by him. Grilled by him being like, do you know who did this? I know you know who did this. Because he had a hunch that it was one of my... And he had a correct hunch, by the way. You didn't have to be fucking Sherlock Holmes to crack that case, dude. It was one of the neighborhood kids. And yeah, it was my buddy Trevor who threw a rock at his car. And I never snitched on him. I was like, I'm not telling you, dude. It's like, I have no idea.
Pretty similar situation. In my neighborhood, somebody ended up breaking into my old stepdad's car. Like, my mom's divorced from him now, but somebody broke into the car because it was that kind of neighborhood. Yeah, and so somebody broke into his car at one point and like took something out of there. I think like took the radio or some shit, and then so he got like a different car alarm system on his car where it was like motion sensors. So if you came within even a distance of it, it started going off. And it's like I had to go up the driveway past that car so it would go off when I'm just walking in the door, like to my home. Like, yeah. And so eventually he had to like my mom and the neighbors like got pissed about it. Like, and we're like, you got to just turn that alarm off. Like, he had to get it fixed so like if the door's open then it would go off, or if it got broken into or something, he had to get it so the motion sensor was gone. And then once he got the motion sensor gone, I waited like a week and then keyed that bitch from the top to bottom with my skateboard. And then I was like, damn, the neighborhood sucks, dude.
Probably somebody from the trailer park over there, Greg. What was his name?
Yeah, probably the same guy. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Joe.
Oh,
Yeah,
Joe, his
fucking
name,
definitely
the
one
stepdad
of
was
those
Joe.
poor people at the trailer park. You know how they're always getting into some rapscallion like behavior.
I just play. I was like, it's probably one of the other kids from the neighborhood,
Yeah.
dude. And, you know, I mean, I'm like, you're kind of
Meanwhile,
mean to
just like
everybody.
part
Like,
of your
yeah, he was.
graphic is just stuck on his car from your skateboard.
There was definitely like paint from his car on the lip of my skate because it was like I used like the curved lip on the top of
Yeah,
my
and you weren't
skateboard, you
grinding
know.
any rails to
Like
get rid of that, so.
no, I definitely had like a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
paint on there that like he never knew about because it's like, what's he gonna look at my skateboard, see a little bit of paint on there, and be
I
like,
mean,
that's
that
my
sounds
car?
like something a fucking
No, like
stepdad would do, actually. And then he would flip out
he
on
did
you,
it.
and then your mom would defend you and be like, "You're crazy, Joe." Meanwhile, he's
Yeah,
1000% in the right, actually.
yeah,
You're like, take that, you
yeah. I think he
motherfucker.
did
That's for
suspect it
fucking
was
my
like
mom, Joe. Get out of here,
he
dude.
I think he thought it was my sister because my sister hated him
Yeah.
even more than I did, and like, so he like blamed it on my sister. He's like, I think it was her who keyed my car, and like she didn't know I did it, and like I was like, and she was like, I didn't do it, and then I was like, yeah, I don't know who did it. It was probably somebody in the neighborhood, dude. Like you're kind of a dick to
Yeah, yeah.
people. Like, like nobody in the neighborhood likes you. That's why they
Also,
broke into your
everybody
car
knows
in the
you just
first
got rid of your
place.
motion sensor. The neighborhood basically had a fucking meeting about your stupid alarm. So you kind
Yeah,
of made yourself
yeah.
vulnerable here, Joe.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Dude, he also like he was rude to everybody in the neighborhood. Like he showed up and like he had money, like a little bit of money, not like a lot,
probably
but
had
he
like
had some money.
25K in the bank.
Not
Was like, I'm a god here, dude.
he was like ex-military and like so he had his military money and like he served
So
21
he had
years in the
15K
Navy
in
and then
his
like
bank account.
yeah,
Eat
I don't know.
less.
Yeah, but then he also had some like HR job as well, like where that paid him pretty well. And so like he had a new vehicle inside of a neighborhood where new vehicles
Yeah.
don't show up.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like where everybody's got a used vehicle and he shows up with like a brand new truck and we're like, well, that doesn't belong here.
That's kind of what.
Yeah,
That's
like,
kind of what
it
like my
sticks out like a
mom
sore
said to
thumb.
fucking John about his Infinity when that windshield got cracked. And we're like, dude, we live in a trailer park and you're driving an Infinity. Like somebody probably just
Yeah.
did that because you're an asshole.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. It's like he was an asshole to all the kids and like all the adults in the neighborhood
Yeah.
and everything. And if anybody asked him to turn off his car alarm
It
or
was,
something, he was a dick about it.
Yeah,
Like
it was
nobody
a sick
liked
Infinity,
him.
though. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't think I've ever ridden in a car that luxurious since. It was a really nice car, dog. Like so fucking nice. I'd be pissed too if my windshield got cracked. It was probably not a cheap windshield to replace.
Probably not, dude.
Anyways,
Oh, man.
what
All
other
right.
bands are you going to see?
Hop-
I like how we're weaving
fucking-
this in throughout the episode. It's fun.
Melee to the Sons of Disaster, I said. And then after that is Under
yeah.
Oath, which
Dude,
I'm fucking stoked
I've seen
for.
Under Oath live.
I
before.
love
They're
me some
great.
Under Oath. I've seen them live before too, back in like
that's
the
where I
Warped
saw
Tour
'em.
days.
That's the only time I've ever seen Under Oath. Is at a Warped Tour show.
Yeah, and then Mushroom Head. I just want to see them for the stage show. I don't really like their music, but they seem to have an interesting stage show.
Yeah.
You know? Like, Mushroom Head just seems fucking kind of crazy. It's one of those things where I'm like, it's also like they've got like a 30-minute set. I'm like, I could watch 30 minutes of Mushroom Head. You know what I mean? I think like the stage show will be. It's like it's the same thing with like how Gwar is playing the festival on Sunday, where it's like I'm gonna watch that set. I have no interest in their music, but I'm gonna watch that set. You know, but Mushroom Head, Slaughter to Prevail, they're fucking sick. Dude.
Yeah,
have you heard Slaughter to
Russian
Prevail?
guys who live in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Putin's
they're fucking
spy
awesome.
band? Yeah, I've heard of them. No, I'm kidding. They're from like Crimea, actually, right? I don't think they're from Russia. I think they're from Crimea.
Yeah. They actually like they speak out against like the Russian Ukraine conflict and everything too and stuff. Yeah, they're very like the lead vocalist is very vocal about not siding with the way that Russia currently is.
It is weird that nobody has taken like a fully anti-war stance on that. It's like you either have to support Ukraine or nothing. It's like you can just be like, about a war in general.
No, that's like what the lead singer of Slaughter Prevail, his name's Alex Terrible.
No, I know
Alex
about
the
them.
Terrible.
Tight.
He's put out a statement on video at one point where he was like, I think this war is stupid. I don't think either country
Good.
should be at war. I'm very adamantly against the war in general, and so is the whole rest of our band. We think what's going on over there is really ridiculous.
Well, I
It
think
shouldn't be. It's
I
more
really do
eloquently
think the
worded than that.
average.
But he very much was like, "We are
Good.
anti-war." He's like, "We are not
Well,
for this at
you
all."
would think that the way so many Americans reacted and like vigorously supported Ukraine, it's kind of almost like we get off on other people. We fight wars so much that like when other people are at war, we kind of just get off on that as a society, and it's kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
dude.
I think it's because we're like, "Hey, look,
Yeah,
someone
we're
else is
watching
doing
like
it."
fucking Russian.
It's
We're
not
watching,
just
like,
us, guys. We're not the only
watching,
ones
like,
who do it.
Russian fighter jet pilots bomb villages on TikTok, and we're like, you gotta support Ukraine. I'm like, I don't know, guys. Maybe we should just not do a war. Like, maybe we should just fucking not do a whole war. But I get why we can't just let Russia just take over that country. It's just what a bad situation, dude. But yeah, Slaughter to Prevail is sick as fuck.
I'll keep. Yeah, and I'll keep moving with the schedule here. The other ones that I have to see is I want to see In This Moment. Again, not a big fan of their music, but I hear they put on a very
Yeah,
good
I remember
stage
that
show.
They're the one with like the hot blonde
The Ghost
screamer, right?
Inside,
Yeah,
Maria
yeah.
Brink. Yeah. Apparently they put out a pretty good
Nice.
stage show though. But then after that'll be The Ghost
Gotta see
Inside,
that. You
which
gotta see that.
they're sick, dude. They're good. Yeah. And then the last two bands of the night is Megadeth and Pantera.
Dude, I'm actually pretty jealous you're gonna get to see Megadeth. I love Megadeth.
I've seen
I've never
Megadeth
seen
before.
them, but they're so good live.
I saw them in 2008 at the Gigantor.
Oh.
They were actually the headliners. I have a T-shirt from that.
I remember
year too,
that. Yeah,
from
my
In
buddy
Flames.
Joey went to that concert, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to go."
That was the tour I think we talked about it before. That was the tour I went to instead of going to see Slipknot that summer. And I would have been able to see, I believe, the original full lineup of Slipknot, even with Paul Gray still in the band.
Do you
their
want
original
to go see
bassist
Megadeth more than Slipknot at that point?
Nope. I wanted
let me
to
guess.
go
Joe
see
was
Slipknot
a big
really bad.
Megadeth fan, huh?
No, no. Joe didn't even like listen to music,
that's
dude.
how you know you're a
He was
psycho.
weird.
That's how you know your stepdad's a
Yeah,
psycho. When he's
yeah.
like, you put on the Beatles, and he's like, turn that fucking shit off. You're like,
that's pretty much what it was, dude.
He's like, get it out of here.
He was a fucking loser, but no. So like that year, what happened was a group of friends ended up who I had like in 8th grade. We're gonna go to the Gigantor. Like I had like 3 or 4 friends who were going to Gigantor, and I didn't know anybody who was going to the Slipknot concert. I would have just ended up going with my dad. So it was like either go to this like Slipknot concert with like my dad, which I've gone to a bunch of concerts with him, or go to this metal concert with some friends. And I've never been to a concert with like just my friends really at that, or at least a big concert. I'd been to like shows, you know, but I'd never been to like a full concert at DTE Energy or now Pine Knob. I had never been to like a big concert, what felt like on my own, you know, and like, or with my friends more specifically. And my friends were going. And so that was really the thing that leaned me in the direction of going to that.
You just wanted to be independent from Joe and your mom. You're like, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna go to that. Joe won't be there. you ask your friends, you're like, is fucking Joe coming? You're like, no, why would Joe be there? Like, I'm coming.
It wasn't my stepdad.
I'm coming.
No, it was my dad. My dad was the one who would actually take me to concerts. But
anyways, what other bands you going to see, Kyle?
Dude, I was gonna say, I should get into Sunday.
What we really need to discuss is this fucking post you made where you pissed off this band on the festival. But yeah, what bands are you going to see on Sunday?
Slay Squad is gonna be the first one of my day. I think there's a band before Slay Squad called Clifford that I kind of want to see.
With some ghetto metal.
Ghetto metal, dude. That's what it's called. Ghetto metal, dude. But also, like earlier, like an hour before them is this band called Clifford, and I've listened to a couple of their songs. They're pretty heavy.
I think we listened to them and we're like, "Yo, Clifford kind of fucking rocks, dude." I'm pretty play them again real quick.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the band that I was most impressed by. Like when we were going through all the lower tier bands. I think we were like,
I think
yo,
it
they're
is
like
one of the
really
ones that we
heavy
liked.
and good.
Half Heard Voices
Yeah, they
was
were
also
sick.
good.
Okay.
This is Clifford. I'm gonna fast forward this
definitely.
a little.
Oh no, we made fun of that riff. What are you talking about? You're going to see this band? We definitely made
Maybe.
fun of this riff.
Yeah, it's a basic riff, but the band, like, they're fucking heavy. So it's like if I get there early enough in the day, I'm definitely
Might as
gonna
well.
watch them if I'm
Might as
there
well,
early
dude.
enough. Yeah. Um, but after Clifford, another band, the one that I put as red that I'm not going to see, that I do not like, that our good friend Drew Campbell has tried convincing me I should see, is Eva Under
Who the
Fire.
fuck is that?
They're from Michigan, dude. They are from Michigan, and so apparently Drew saw them once at White's Bar. They played White's Bar
Okay.
years ago. Yeah, which for anybody who doesn't know White's Bar in Saginaw, it's honestly where where I met Drew and Jake at originally. It's just a bar in Saginaw that used to have an open mic and sometimes have bands. This band's from Michigan. I guess they played there once when they had an EP out. Drew was over at my apartment the other day telling me and my wife about it. He's like, "You should go see Eva Under Fire." I was like, "I'm definitely not doing that, Drew." I was like, "That band sucks." And like he's like, "No, like they got some good stuff." And I was like, "I don't think so, man." And like I was like, "Why do you think convince me?" And he's like, "I saw them at like White's Bar years ago, and like afterwards, the lead vocalist, she came up to me and like handed me one of their EPs." And he's like, "And I was on a date with some chick who I was talking to at the bar." He's like, and then we had to drive home later that night, and we got in a fight the whole ride home about me talking to the lead singer of that
Oh my
band.
god, dude.
And he's like, "I'm not with that
Yeah,
chick
I know.
anymore."
I'm also friends
Yeah.
with Drew. I know he's not with that chick.
Yeah.
Fucking, that's so
Yeah,
funny to
it's
me
so
because he's like,
funny
I
to me
saw them
though.
at White's Bar. I'm like, dude, that means you were hammered, Drew. That means you were
Yes,
blackout
yeah.
drunk, and you're like, this band fucking rocks, dude. Shut up, Drew.
Yeah.
I love you, dog, but shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah. Dude, he's like, "No, but like they have some good songs on their EP." I was
The
like,
one
"I
that
don't
you were
believe
listening to
you."
while you're getting screamed at by that chick, and you're trying to drown out her fucking shrill voice.
Yeah. He's like, "I used to listen to it in my car all the time." I was like, "That doesn't make it good." I was like, "That makes it one of the
Oh my
CDs you had in
god,
your
dude.
car." Like,
All right, yeah, play a
yeah.
little Eve Under Fire, and then we'll just
Fucking fun.
we'll blaze through your list and get through this post because we're probably coming up on an
Here,
hour.
I'll keep going while I look them up real quick. So Eva Under Fire, I'm definitely not seeing, but after Slay Squad, I'm gonna see Gideon, which that's one of the bands I'm most stoked for the whole entire weekend is Gideon. Honestly, I fucking am so into Gideon lately, man. That they fucking rip. I might see Crown the Empire. Might see. I might see Dayseeker. I might see
You
Wage
should definitely
War.
see Wage War.
Um,
Wage War is sweet.
Yeah, I think I plan on seeing Wage War. There's nothing else at that time that I really want to see. Then after Wage War, I'm for sure watching Guar. Because why wouldn't you?
If
It's
you
gonna
don't
be
go
a
watch
show.
Guar at that
you
festival,
know?
you're a loser.
Yeah. After Guar, I'm probably gonna watch Flyleaf with Lacey Sturm because why not? And then Bush.
Glycerine.
Yeah, I might as well. I've never seen Bush live. I'm like, I might as well,
why not,
right?
dude?
You know, Asking Alexandria. Unfortunately, I don't want to watch.
You might as well go.
There's nothing else, no other band playing at that time though. They're towards the end of the evening when there's no other bands playing. So it's like I'm going to be watching. Dude, honestly, their drummer got a foot injury and they had to cancel their European tour last month, and like everybody was like worried, like, oh no, they might not make it to Inkarceration, they might get replaced. I was like, please let them get replaced. Like literally people were posting in the Facebook group and they're like, I hope they're like, what if they have to replace them? And I was like, I hope they do. Like I was commenting on every post about Asking Alexandria saying I hope they get replaced. Like I said it so many times. I'm like, Dude, I can't stand Asking Alexandria anymore. Like, if they were gonna play their first album and that was it,
Yeah.
I'd want to see it. But like, other than that, it's all generic
Wait,
metalcore. I don't
what do
give
you
a
think their
fuck
first
about it.
album is, dude? That's like the most generic metalcore ever made.
Yes, the post-hardcore. That's the only one I care about. Is like shit with like Not the American Average and stuff like that.
Yeah, they suck, dude.
Yeah, but now it's like radio rock. You know what I mean? Like they made generic post-hardcore when it wasn't generic yet necessarily. When it wasn't considered generic yet. You know what I mean?
Like fucking memory from my youth, dude. I remember me and my girlfriend and then my drummer and his girlfriend, we were all crashing at my drummer's girlfriend's like grandmother's house because we were all going to go to Bloodfest the next day. So we're all like crashing in the same house and we're all just like we're like starting to pass out. I guess like I passed out first and then I started talking to my sleep, but I was just saying Asking Alexandria lyrics when I was like 15. I was like
just Jake in his sleep like, you fucking bitch.
No, it's from that like one song with like that synth breakdown.
Oh man, all of them?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, you want attention, baby, you scared or something like that.
Oh yeah, you want attention, baby?
Yeah, and they woke me up
scared?
and they're like, Jake, you're like quoting Asking Alexandria in your sleep right now. What the fuck, dude?
You're just like, I'm fucking stoked
they were not
to see
playing
him, dude.
Bloodfest. It had nothing to do with this current situation.
Exactly. They're like, dude, we're not even seeing them tomorrow. Oh man, what is that? That's got to be Not the American. Is that Not the American Average or the final episode? Dude. Oh, but here, I just want to hear that one part. We're not gonna listen to the whole song, but we will listen to that one part. Okay. I'm just gonna find I think it's Touch It Baby, Touch It Baby.
Don't
you scared?
It, baby?
That's what it is.
Is it
Touch
really?
It Baby. Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
What?
Dude, I think it's Not the American Average.
No, it's the final episode.
Or the
I'm
final
pretty positive.
Episode. Are you sure?
Because it's the one where he does the oh my god bullshit in the beginning.
Oh my god!
Oh, here it is. It's You Need a Doctor, baby. You scared.
It would be...
Here it is. Hold on. Dance break. This is what everybody does the Running Man on stage.
The corniest shit ever, dude.
Yeah. Baby, you scared? You need a doctor, baby? You scared?
All right, turn it off. All right, so I was doing that in my sleep.
It's bad.
Yeah. Fucking snoozing,
I just
dude.
imagine Jake just like, you need a doctor, baby?
Yeah.
You scared? It's like
super
half
embarrassing,
awake.
dog.
Dude,
oh, also,
that's
real
hilarious.
Quick,
all right, but
I'll just say this, and then we'll get to this post and wrap up. You jogged a memory earlier when we were talking about Warped Tour. I remember me and my buddy Victor, same drummer that was sleeping in that place with us. I remember we were like desperately wanted to see Scary Kids Scaring Kids at this date, and then we get to the stage and we're like waiting for Scary Kids Scaring Kids to start playing on, and then we just hear bap, 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 bap. It was fucking Real Big Fish, dude. We missed Scary Kids Scaring Kids' entire set because we thought we were at the wrong stage. And then Real Big Fish came on and we were like, fucking ska is gay, dude. We did not like ska.
That's rough, man. I think one of the bands on Inkarceration, one of the bands on like the small stage, their vocalist is like a fill-in vocalist for Scary Kids Scaring Kids currently.
Well, I think
forget which band
like
it
that
is.
one final tour.
Yeah, but like it was one of the bands that's on the small stage for Inkarceration. I was going through the bands and I was like clicking their Instagram pages from like each member and just looking at their members' pages and stuff. And I discovered one of the bands, like their vocalist, he was on that Scary Kids Scaring
nice.
Kids tour. And like his main band that he's on or in
Did
now
you ever
is
did you
like
ever
on
really get into
Inkarceration.
Scary Kids Scaring Kids?
Barely, like
Okay,
Darkest
because
Hour.
I would say that
Yeah.
the self-titled album and even The City Sleeps in Flames, dude, out of like any post-hardcore albums, those two albums hold up better than like most shit from that era. Like they really do.
I haven't listened to it in a
Yeah, dude,
while.
self-titled,
Yeah, I haven't heard it in a
listen to Degenerates. It's such a perfect post-hardcore song. And the breakdown in the end is sick as fuck.
You know who else has some shit that holds up? The last two bands I'm gonna see at
who?
Inkarceration, Jake. The last two, after Asking Alexandria, the way to end out my whole weekend is gonna be Lamb of God and then Slipknot.
Yeah, they got some bangers over the years, man. They definitely hold.
Yeah, man. Lamb of God. I hear Lamb of God fucking rips
dude,
live.
Lamb
Dude,
of
they
God
put
is
on like a great
highly
show.
underrated. They've been consistent for like almost 25 years.
Their drummer Art Cruz is like the shit too. He's like friends with like Frank Castillo, like who's a comedian paid regular at the store. And Frank is going on the Lamb of God tour to do stand up or on their cruise,
Oh,
like
really?
their Lamb of God cruise that they're doing. They're doing like a Lamb of God metal cruise where Lamb of God's the main headliner and Frank Castillo is doing stand up on it. And he's bringing
I want to
Steve
go on
Fury
one of those
with
metal
him.
cruises so bad.
So do I, dude. So do I. And I want to perform. I only want to go if they're letting me perform, though,
out.
man. Yeah. I want to go, like, be a stand-up comic on there. That show would be dope. But Frank met Art Cruz because Art is a fan of stand-up comedy. It would come to the Comedy Store. And Art Cruz is also Mexican, as well as Frank Castillo. And so they bonded on that, I think, pretty immediately. And also Frank's a big fan of, like, Lamb of God.
The same way that me and you
music.
bonded over being white. I mean, really, that's our strongest connection, dude. Just fucking with you, bro.
Yep. I mean, hey, man, I think it is one of those things, like, there's not a ton of, like, very popular young rising Mexican comedians.
I know. I'm
right
not,
now.
Dude.
Ralph Barbosa being one of them. And he's a
Yeah,
sweetheart of a man, too. He is so great, dude.
I love that he really
he's super
lives
funny.
rent-free in fucking George Lopez's head. It's so funny.
Yeah. Dude, I think it's also funny because, like, people found out about that George Lopez shit, like, a month after we had him at Detroit House of Comedy. And, like, when he was at Detroit House of Comedy, somebody, like, he had more Latinos come out than I've ever seen in a weekend at the House of Comedy. Like, way more. It's wild. And so, like, but he had, like, I heard people say it to him when they were taking pictures with him after the shows, and somebody like heckled it out during the show where they told him, they're like, "Hey dog, we're proud of you. You're the next George Lopez." And even on stage, like, this is before it came out of the news and everything, Ralph was like, "Fuck George Lopez. I ain't like that motherfucker."
Not at all.
Like, he's like, "Fuck that guy." Well, he was like, he literally said, "Fuck George Lopez." And then somebody like, and then people, when he was like taking pictures after the shows and shit, came up to him and they're like, "Dog, you're like our next one. You're our next George Lopez." And every time somebody would say it, he goes, "Fuck George Lopez," every time. And then like a month later, he said it on a podcast and it became news. And I was like, and people are like, "Oh, you said fuck George Lopez." I was like, he's been saying fuck George Lopez. Like, I was like, this ain't news to me, dude.
Ralph,
like,
George
he's been saying that.
It, so.
Yeah, but he was saying,
he did.
I mean, like,
George
I think he also just
shit,
he didn't want to be compared to this guy.
Well, it's kind of offensive because it's like you're acting like their stand-up is not even similar in any capacity. So it's like
exactly,
it's like
and that's why he was like, "Fuck George Lopez. I'm not George Lopez."
It's kind of just like they're kind of just being like, "Dude, you're Mexican, sick." Like that's basically what they're saying.
It's like if somebody came up to you and they're like, "Oh, dude, Jake, you're super funny. You're the next Jerry Seinfeld." Like, you'd be like, "I'm not the next Jerry Seinfeld."
No, I would
fuck
say
Jerry Seinfeld.
Dude,
that's
is so
not
funny.
who I am.
And this probably makes me look like a psychopath, but whatever, dude. We have a bunch of pictures in the restaurant that I work at of like famous people that they owners like. And I noticed they're in like this corner in one of like the just very corner tables downstairs. I didn't notice it until the other day, but I noticed a picture of Jerry Seinfeld, and I audibly said out loud, "Fucking dickhead," and then I finished bussing that table, dude.
Oh man, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I guess like that's what I equate it to, where it's like, just because he's that race, that's what people are like. Oh, you're the next one. It's like, and he's like, no, I'm not. I'm not the next George Lopez. I'm
Yeah.
Ralph Barbosa.
So let's
Like,
get to this post
all right,
and
here
yeah.
I'm gonna play. I was gonna play a song by Eva Under Fire,
We're
so you can hear
definitely
how bad
over
it
an
is. I had this
hour,
pulled up.
so
You
we
want to
should
hear
just
it?
do the post
Okay,
and wrap
all
up.
right.
I'll listen to Eva Under Fire under my
Fair
own
enough.
time,
All right.
and then I will call Drew Campbell
It's
and tell him
bad.
he has horrific taste in rock music.
Yeah, dude, it's not good.
He doesn't. I would love to have him on the pod,
It's
but he
bad.
doesn't like any music with screaming. So it'd have to be like a thrash
Who cares?
episode where we just do like throwback shit.
Yeah, he loves new metal though, man.
Which doesn't make sense because
he's maybe one of the.
there's so many Limp Bizkit songs with screaming on it, dude.
Yeah, I think he might be the biggest Korn fan that I know of.
Does love
outside
Korn.
of myself, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, yeah. But yeah, we'll have to have him on here sometime. He loves metal
He tried
and
to get
rock
me into
music
like
enough where I
stoner
think we could
metal,
have
and I
good
was
conversations.
like, this fucking sounds like they're on heroin, not weed. This sucks, dude.
Yeah. You know who else loves like stoner and doom metal is Bart Dangus.
Yeah, I know
You know
Bart
Bart
Dangus,
Dangus? He told me that he loves like doom metal and stoner
Okay, that's
sludge
not shocking
doom.
to me at all, dude. I love Bart, but he
right?
definitely
When he told me, I was
like
like, that
somebody
tracks.
that would love that shit,
Yeah.
dude. He cut off all
Like
of his
stoner
hair, right?
doom sludge metal.
God.
Yeah.
He's.
I haven't seen him in a minute though. But yeah. All right. So here's what happened. I'm in the Inkarceration Facebook group. This is the post you're talking about. I posted my Friday schedule in the group, and I have it all color coded. Okay. I have little dots next to each band that I want to see, and I color coded it. Green means have to see. Yellow means I want to see, and red means don't care really. Which I don't mean as an insult. It just means I don't care whether I see it or not,
Yeah.
I guess. Like, I could see it, but I also don't care if I don't see it. That's how I look at it. But I guess when I just put don't care, it comes off a certain
comes
way.
off a little,
it comes off like, I don't give a
negative,
fuck
dude.
about
I won't
you.
lie to you.
Yeah, in hindsight 2020, I
mean,
realize this now.
let's throw a hypothetical out there real quick. If I was coming to Motor City Comedy Festival this year to attend, and I had a list of comedians in red that was said "Don't care," and you were on that list, I think you'd be like, "Yo, dude, fuck our podcast, dude. Jake, fuck Jake." Well, we made it 17 episodes. Jake can go fuck himself now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, I get it how it would come across a certain way, maybe, but it's not how I meant it, I guess.
I care about their feelings. I don't. But I'm just saying, I also get why they'd be upset.
Yeah, and so here's the thing about this Facebook group. A lot of the people from these bands that are playing, like, the small stage, these bands that are still, like, local bands by most means, even though they aren't local to Ohio, they're local level bands for the most part. Or they're, like, just starting to tour.
Contest
for,
like, the lower tier bands to get on the festival.
I'll say almost all of the bands that are on that stage have at least 8,000 or below on Instagram as far as followers. Like, they're at 8,000 or below, and which in terms of a band is not much. As far as touring, that doesn't mean shit,
Yeah, and we all know a voting-based contest to put somebody on your festival. That's a foolproof way to have quality control as well. Definitely not gonna have any problems there.
Yeah, so one of the bands that got on is Devil's Envy. We talked about them on a previous episode.
Devil's Envy, DVLSENVY, or and.
No, it's just DVLS
See?
NV.
Retarded, dude. They're fucking their own careers by doing that.
And then so I posted my Friday schedule, and they were one of my don't cares. Shocker, right? Their music's I don't care. It's whatever. And so the lead vocalist, who's also in this Facebook group, comments on the post and goes, "Thanks for the heads up. Our travel up there was highly dependent on if you would care to catch Devil's Envy or not." Crying face emoji, heart hands emoji.
Dog, that is one of those types of comments where like he's so clearly trying to not look hurt, but it just reads as a man who has like you fucked this guy's ego up, Kyle. You fucked
Yes, I
this man's
did.
ego up, dude. You're like mushrooms for this man's brain. He experienced ego death because of you.
He so yeah, so I reply. Uh I go nothing personal, just not my thing. I did look you guys up and gave it a listen though. My buddy and I discussed your music on our podcast a couple weeks ago. We were both wondering though, why is your name stylized as DVLSNV, but it's Devil's Envy on Apple Music. It makes it hard to find you guys initially. And he goes, "You posted don't care. It's very personal." And then with a meme of a cat that's like staring, and then in like little parentheses underneath the cat it says evil laughter. It's like a gif
Oh, these
of
guys
like a cat.
fucking suck, dude. Wow, man.
Yeah. And
You're
then
gonna be
and then he
cringe as a
replies
band
one
and
more
as a human
time.
being. That's what you're telling me?
Yes, and then he replies one more time before I get a chance to reply. And he goes, "It's an abbreviation thing. Same as BMTH, A7X,
Dude, those
etc.
those
Promoters
are fan-induced nicknames.
Yes. He goes, promoters kept misspelling our name as Devil's Envy, so we went with DBLS Envy for billing."
What?
And I go, "Cool to know. Thanks for
What
answering."
are they talking about, dude? Oh, yeah, promoters were having
That's
trouble
what I'm
spelling
saying.
our name, so we made it 10 times more difficult for promoters, dude. Fuck those guys.
And have you ever, like, dude, saying, like, it's an abbreviation like BMTH or A7X, have you ever seen that on a
No,
flyer for
neither
either of those
go by
bands?
BMTH or A7X. WeCar doesn't go by WeCar.
Exactly.
And also, I don't know why people
No.
say WeCar. It's WCar. But people do that. Because it just rolls off the tongue better. But they're not like, we're WeCar.
Yeah, and also, like, why are you doing it two separate ways? Like, why is it being advertised by promoters as one way, but then people have to search out Devil's Envy full spelling on Apple Music or Spotify?
Yeah.
Like, what's the business
we
plan
can just
there?
rest comfortably knowing they're going to fail entirely as a band. So,
It's like when somebody, like when a comedian had their Instagram handle is like, doesn't have their name in it, and then their name on Instagram is like a nickname and
Yeah.
doesn't have their name in
Yeah.
it either. Where it's like, how the fuck's anybody supposed to know this is like Jake Ford when the handle is like Big Daddy Dong, and then like the name is just like, and the name is just Mr. Dong, you know?
Thank you for my
Like-
new Instagram handle, Kyle. I'm going to change that as soon as we end this episode. At Big Daddy Dong, but the O is going to be a 0. Make it look trendy, dude. No, I get it. That's absolutely, that's an
I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head.
I know why, dude. I'm not going to say it. Pride Month just ended. I'm still not going to say it, but I know why, dude. Oh, wow.
It's so funny, but it's like,
No,
you know
that's
what I'm talking about? Like when like you're trying to find somebody by name and you're like, you can't find them, and then you find
That's an
their
apt
Instagram and they've
comparison
got
for
like,
sure, yeah.
yeah. And they've got 20,000 followers or something, but you're like, how does anybody find you? Like, this is like, your name doesn't come up. It's not in your
Yeah, yeah.
handle. Like, and yeah, they're like, oh, you got to search Big Daddy Dong and you can find
You're like,
me.
I'm not looking that up on my phone, dude. Do you think I want Google to
Yeah.
have data of me searching Big Daddy Dong?
I can't
They're
search
making
Big
money
Daddy
off
Dong.
of
I have
me
a wife,
searching
dude.
Big Daddy Dong? Jamiroquai was right, dude. We're living in virtual insanity, dude. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know that Jamiroquai song? You ever hear that jam? You know virtual
Oh,
insanity?
probably,
It's-
man. I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
was listening to that the other day. I'm like, dude, this motherfucker, not only did he write one of the catchiest songs of the 90s, he was an absolute prophet.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Anyways, so they just
Oh.
is that the end of the exchange? They just got butthurt. Did any of the fans chime in?
They got. So,
Did anybody else chime in
um,
and go, Kyle, you're acting like a dickhead with this don't care thing, dude? Not that I think you are. I don't care either.
Somebody chimed in and goes, "What color do I use for I'd rather go deaf than hear them?"
Hell yeah, dog. I love that, dude.
And then somebody replied and goes, "That's how I feel about Limp Bizkit." And then this other person was like, "That's how I feel about Chelsea Grin." So I'm like, yeah, I get it. They're fucking grindcore. I understand why you would not want to hear Chelsea Grin. You know, kinda. I mean, they're like deathcore, a little grindy though. I mean, some of their stuff's pretty grindy.
I haven't listened to Chelsea Grin in fucking forever, dude.
I'd say they probably fall more into deathcore, but I think some people would feel maybe grind. I don't know. But I guess, like, purists would fight me on that, probably.
Yeah, grindcore is, like, a very specific thing. It's like Dr. Acula and See You Next Tuesday. Which,
yeah,
dude, do you remember
I mean, I kind of feel like Chelsea Grin kind of falls into that.
Do you remember that band?
Yeah, I do. They're back together.
Great
yeah.
Band name.
You know, like, their vocalist owns a tattoo shop out in, like, the Lansing area now?
No.
He's an esteemed tattoo artist, and, like, he's a very well-known tattoo artist in that area now, and they got back together just for, like, shits and gigs for, like, fun.
We'll wrap up on this, and this is gonna make me look like an absolute hero, and two of my other bandmates look like scumbags, but I had to, like, stop two of my bandmates from, like, stealing guitars from See You Next Tuesday when we were in the recording studio. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dirtbag move.
They kept talking about it and joking about it. And like, dude, don't fucking do that. Don't do that. They were like
those are
$3,000 custom LTDs. They were like really insanely nice guitars. And it's like, dude, first of all, that's going to be real easy to track. Second of all, just a dirtbag move. But yeah, like they had like See You Next Tuesday had left behind a bunch of equipment at 37 Studios, and it had been there for like months. So like two of my dumbass teenager bandmates got it in their head. They're like, "Oh yeah, probably wouldn't even notice." And I'm like, "They're gonna notice."
Yeah. Yeah, man. They're back together now. They're doing shows again in Michigan and stuff. I think they're doing a little bit of touring. But I was talking to my tattoo artist about it when I was getting like my upper arm finished, like a couple months ago. We were talking about like music and stuff and about the scene because he also came up in the local scene as well. And so like we were talking about it and like we were talking about See You Next Tuesday. I was like, oh yeah, they just got back together. He's like, yeah, their vocalist is like a tattoo artist now, based out of Lansing. He has his own shop and everything, and they just got back together for like the fun of it because like they wanted to do music
I might have gotten
again.
tattooed there.
I don't know.
When I really got my gang tattoo, I might have got tattooed there, dude.
Ride or die, dude. Fucking ride or die.
I'm thinking about getting more tattoos now because I'm like, I got to get something else.
They're from Bay City.
Yeah, no,
You just See You Next Tuesday's from Bay City? I had no idea.
I hope they played demos at one point. That would be really funny. But all right, dude.
So vocals is Chris Fox. His name's Chris Fox. I think it's Chris Fox.
I've heard of him as an artist then. What shop is it?
Chris Fox Tattoo. Fox Tattoos is his handle, I think.
Yeah.
Fish Ladder.
I have had buddies that have gotten tattooed there.
Yeah, I think it's his shop, if I'm right. No, he's just an artist there. Okay, it's founded by Eric Jenks and Chris Ballore, but he's one of the artists there. But yeah, my tattoo artist told me that because we started talking about See You Next Tuesday, and he's like, oh yeah, he's a lead vocalist, is a tattoo artist. And I saw a picture of him recently, and he's got a fucking head tattoo and everything, and I was like, and I saw that picture before he told me that, and I was like, yeah, that tracks. He's got fucking head tattoos and face tattoos. I was like, it tracks that dude is a tattoo artist now.
Hang on, somebody's like buzzing into my apartment. I'll cut this out of the pod. Let me get right back to you. 1 sec.
Okay.
Sorry, it was an Amazon delivery driver, dude. Dude, he handed me like 3 big packages, and I was like, fucking Christmas in July, right? And he didn't laugh.
He's probably so sick of it. That's probably like the equivalent of like going to the grocery store when something doesn't ring and be like, so it's free, right? Like, he
Oh
probably hears
God,
that
dude. Yeah,
every
he's probably
fucking day.
so annoyed,
You know
dude.
what I mean?
It's only
Like,
it's only the 6th, and he's like, God damn it, dude. I'm so tired of that joke.
it's like Christmas in July, man, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm back to work now. Like, gonna
I'm
go
gonna
deliver
kill
more
myself in
packages,
August.
asshole."
Christmas in July, hanging in August.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, but yeah, I think that's probably the same as scanning something at the grocery store.
It's
Like,
free,
so
right?
it's free. That means to be,
You're beneath me 'cause you're a cashier.
You ever have somebody do that? You ever work in retail and have somebody pull so that means it's free, huh?
Yeah. I had that when I was working at that cheese shop. I would work register sometimes, and yeah, people would try and do that. And I'd be like, no, I could just type it into the system. I'd just be like, literal with them, not take it as a joke. I'd be like, no, I can find it. Don't worry.
That's what I did whenever it would happen to me. Like somebody, like something wouldn't scan, and then like when I worked in retail, and then they'd be like, "Oh, so it's free, right?" I'd be like, "No, I'll just punch in the barcode." Like, just very seriously. Like,
they're like, "Yo, what's up with this autistic kid working at Walgreens? Just taking everything so literal, dude."
Dude, it was
Okay,
writing,
yeah.
but yeah, yeah, close enough.
That means
yeah,
it's free, right?
like
It's herpes
sometimes.
medication.
And then sometimes if it like still wouldn't go in, punching it in manually, they'd be like, "Oh, so it is free," and I'd be like, "Nope, I just gotta call my manager up here, and you have to wait longer." Like,
all right, dude. Well, let's wrap her up, bro. You can do the ending thingamabobs.
all right, everybody. That is episode 17 of Unless you live hardcore. But I mean, it could be we, you know, but it's you, all right? Unless you live hardcore. I'm Kyle. I am Kyle Forsyth on social media. The podcast is at Unless You Live Hardcore.
Dude. I'm at Comic Jake Ford on Instagram, and I'm gonna start a Threads account, so you can follow me on that pretty soon. I'm about to be Threads famous. And then yeah, guys, for everybody who's listened to the podcast so far, I want to say thank you. Means a lot. Numbers are starting to grow pretty nicely. Decent. They're not bad. Appreciate that, guys.
Hell yeah.
In an effort to get strangers to listen to the pod, people we don't know, please give us a rating and subscribe to the podcast. Give us a 5-star rating. That really, really helps pump us up in the algorithm. So
tell your friends about it. Tell your friends that you know people who have good music taste and shit and stuff, or if they're into metal or hardcore or whatever, you know, send them our way.
Help
you know,
us become the biggest haters in the metal community while also making an obscene amount of money off Patreon that we did not earn. Let's do that.
Help us get to enough viewers to where people in bands want to do our podcast.
Yes, that'd be tight too, dude. Which, by the way, the numbers really don't got to be that high for that, dude.
No, I realized that too.
You can have 200 listeners a week, and people be like, "I would love to do your podcast."
That's what I've realized. Yep.
Metal musicians are like stand-up comedians. They're inherently desperate and trying to be relevant.
Yes. You are very correct. And then, yeah, everybody, tune in again next week. I think next week we're going to go over this stupid-ass Lil Uzi Vert Chop Suey cover that we didn't get to go through.
We got a bunch of stuff
this
we didn't
week,
go through. We probably could have done a second
we
gotta
go
today, but
through.
whatever, dude.
We got to get that. Yeah, we'll get to it, because that Lil Uzi Vert Chop Suey cover is something else, dude.
Well, hey, guys, this probably a little bit long today. I'll cut out when I got my Amazon package delivered. Hopefully that'll chop out a little bit of time. All right. Dude, I'm stoked.
But,
I'm stoked. This package is going to be fucking sick, dude. I got,
what are they?
I got a couple new pillows. I got these pillows that are for side and back sleepers, which is what I do. I sleep on my side. And then I got, what else did I get? I got some new notepads for writing and like video editing for like when I go through footage and mark timestamps. And then I don't know. I don't remember. I'm about to open it up, and I think I did this order when I was like pretty hammered the other night. So there's gonna be a few surprises in there, dude. I probably ordered an Auto Blow 3000 as well. So I'm fucking stressed, dude.
Dude, Yeah, man. I was gonna say the video editing money changed. You're ordering weird pillows
No,
now.
they're not weird
Just
pillows.
niche
They're good.
pillows. Pillows for that's like what for one part of your body.
They're not like it's not a pillow for my side. It's a head pillow, but they're like curved a certain way so that it supports your head more when you're laying on your side.
I think we have one of those
Yeah, see?
in our
So don't act like
apartment.
I'm
If I'm
fucking
right,
weird, dude.
I think my wife got it.
Man.
I think like her. I think the what is it? The person you go to for your back or whatever, the chiropractor. They told her to get one, and so she
Yeah.
ordered one on Amazon.
Well, I'm gonna let
I
you
think
out
that's
on
what
a
it
little
is. It's
secret
for like a
right now
neck.
that's actually pretty embarrassing. For the past year at my apartment, I have been sleeping with these couch pillows for literally almost a year now.
Dog.
So I finally decided to splurge a little bit. You're right, dude. The editing money has changed me a lot. I'm buying fucking pillows now, dude.
You need to get a memory foam pillow,
I
dude.
don't like them actually.
Those are the shit.
I don't really like them.
Really?
They're like a little too.
I got
firm,
one that's
you know
pretty
what I
good.
mean?
You got to get a soft memory foam. There's different
Yeah.
levels of it. I don't like the really firm memory foam either. I found a soft memory foam one, and I'm
Okay.
hooked on it.
Maybe I'll
now.
try
like,
that.
I love the thing. I used to have a different one when I was younger, and it was like a harder memory foam, and I never fucking used it. I hated it. Like, my mom bought it
Yeah.
for me when I was younger, and I didn't like it at all. It just like
Yeah.
laid there.
You know, it'd be a fun. You know, it'd be
the
like
one I
a
use now
fun
is good.
content machine if I was actually an alcoholic. I just thought about this. You know how people do like unboxings for like YouTube. I think it'd be funny to do a like blackout unboxings. You just get blackout drunk.
I'm pretty sure somebody else
It's
does
gotta
this
be a thing,
already.
but what a great idea! That was totally mine originally.
I think I've like seen TikToks where it's like unboxing my drunk
Yeah,
Amazon
that's sick
purchases.
content, dude. I'm pissed I didn't think about that first. I can't drink
I've
like
seen
that anyway, so I blacked
Yeah,
out once
me
my
neither,
whole
man.
life, and it was 2 4th of Julys ago, and I lost my phone and my glasses. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
found
know
them.
if I've ever fully
I found my
blacked
phone
out.
and my glasses in a yard about a mile away from the salsa parlor. Yeah. And I was like, I'm never
That's
fucking
wild.
drinking again. And then like 4 months later, I started drinking again.
I don't think I've ever blacked out. I've definitely
Dude,
like
I had
browned
thought
out.
previously
Where
that
like
I had blacked out before. Nope. Nope, that was the first real one. Because it's terrifying, dude. It's
I've
literally
never-
terrifying. You wake up and you're like, yo, I was just at the fucking bar. 2 seconds ago, I was at the bar, and now it's 6 a.m. Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I've never done that. I've browned out before, where
Yeah.
it's like
That's where you get
a
pretty
lot
drunk
of
and you
like the
shit your
events
pants,
of the night.
right?
It's just where I got drunk enough to where a lot of the details of the evening are hazy.
Yeah. No,
like,
I know.
But it's like I remember things, but a lot of the events are
yeah.
hazy.
No, the
Yeah,
last thing I remember
so,
from
I
that
don't know.
night, and I'll end the pod on this, was I remember us getting kicked out of a bar. Not because I did anything. Like, I'm a very chill, like, happy drunk. But, like, the bartender just took one look at me and was like, you are too fucked up. I can't serve you. And I'm like, I think I stood up and I was like, that's fair. And I just left.
Dude, I don't think I've ever gotten cut off at a
me
bar.
neither. Not till
ever.
that day, dude. But I was rolling with
Dude,
an actual alcoholic. So, and I was rolling
Yeah.
solo with him,
Okay.
dude. Everybody who worked at the gym with us was like, dude, you fucking hung out with Steve by yourself? You didn't bring anybody to take the heat off of you a little bit. And I was like, no, you're right. That was a mistake.
Yeah, man. I've never had to do that.
Hilarious. You know, this is the
alright.
funniest part
Yeah,
about
man.
that story, and truly, this is the end of the pod. I got paid for doing that on the 4th of July. Because that day started off with me going into work, and then as soon as I got into work, my boss, who is the guy I partied with all day, he was like, you want to go over to Pizza House and get beers for lunch? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, it's 4th of July. I don't feel like working. And then I stayed clocked in that whole day, and he still paid me for it. He was like, yeah, dude, you can get paid for that. So sometimes it pays off to work
That's
for
insane.
a complete degenerate. All right.
Yeah, I mean, ask the people who work at Detroit House of Comedy; they'll tell you.
All right, Kyle. I love you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
All right.
Love you too, dude.
Bye-bye.
Take care.